This is TVS Motors. Restriction on rare earth magnets could bring production to a halt. This is the word coming in from TVS Motors MD Sudarshan Venu. He also adds that there could be cost increases for customers. In fact, Parikshit Luthra caught up with Mr. Venu on a whole host of issues, including some of these trade disruptions. And he also started off by asking him about Norton India's debut and opportunities in the international business. Listen in.
Norton will launch towards the end of this year and will start phasing in the products towards the end of this year and early next year. I think I've mentioned 6 products before, 4 of which will be available for the summer of 2026 in the 4 European markets of UK, plus France, Germany, Italy, and Spain, as also, of course, in India. So this is where I think we are heading towards by starting off with the launch of the 4-cylinder superbike at EICMA, and then we will also share the remaining 3 products soon at EICMA or soon after, which will be available in the market early 2026. They are all in advanced stages of development. I think we have a good leadership team now at Norton with the 2 executive directors, Arnie and Neviho. Supporting them are very good designers, engineers, and a lot of homegrown talent from TVS in India, which I think brings a great mix in terms of the Britishness and the uniqueness of Norton, while leveraging the capabilities of TVS and also offering opportunities for our talent to grow.
Right. So there's a lot of competition in the premium space in India as well, in the 350 to 500cc space. And 650 is a space which Royal Enfield has been leading. Could you give us a sense of where your bikes would be playing, in which segment, and how many bikes will the Indian consumer be able to reach out to in India?
I think we will start, as I said, with the 1200cc superbike. We will have other smaller offerings as well. But we will draw a line on how we ensure we keep Norton Premium, keep it in the luxury space, and offer bikes that are uniquely differentiated and uniquely Norton in terms of the 3 values which we have articulated, which is design, dynamism, and detail.
Right. And what will be like the retail strategy for it in India and
We'll
globally?
definitely have a differentiated retail strategy in India, covering Norton and covering possibly some of the premium TVS vehicles as well. As I said, this will help us connect with the growing middle class of India and upper middle class and people with more affluence, and with Norton's even some of the top end segments who buy sports cars and other vehicles who also buy these very high end bikes. We will connect with different retail formats that are uniquely catered to them and offer them that superior and differentiated experience.
So there'll be like more experience centers, more showrooms, specific
Definitely.
showrooms for...
Absolutely.
How many are you targeting for India?
We'll share more soon, but I think definitely we will cover in the first phase the big cities, and then after that move on to other cities, and we definitely intend to offer the entire Norton range in India.
Speaking about electric vehicles, 25% market share in the month of May, that's what we pick up. You were the leading player, and you have been the leading player for several months now. The competition is stiff, but you're steadily growing the market. What's going to be the strategy from here on in terms of building your EV portfolio?
We are committed to building all segments in EV that we believe make sense. And so we have the TVS iQube, which of course has done well. We have now started retail of the TVS X, which is sort of a flagship scooter, which shows the capabilities of what we can do in terms of technology and materials and really creating a fantastic riding experience. And you're resonating with the young customers in terms of connectivity, in terms of use of advanced materials, in terms of design. We're also launching another electric scooter this year. And we've done the One Make Electric Racing Championship and also the electric 3-wheelers and electric bicycles as well.
Okay, so if we were to ask you how many electric products altogether in FY26?
I think in FY26 we'll look at a couple of new launches. One is, of course, X has already started retail. There is an improved iQube and one more new scooter.
One more new scooter coming up. How does the market look to you currently, and are you looking at increasing capacity? What is the monthly run rate that you're looking at?
I think we are increasing capacity and the volumes have grown. At the same time now there is this whole supply chain challenge in terms of China banning the export of rare earth, high rare earth HRE magnets, which are actually very important for our motors and other parts of the EVs. So this EV supply chain disruption is certainly going to pose a short to medium term challenge. And I think as India plans its EV strategy and EV plan, the adoption will have to be phased in or phased up along with developing an Atmanirbhar supply chain in India, where India, as the world's leading two-wheeler market, which has produced 3 of the top 5 companies by volume globally, has its own supply chain, its own R&D, its own capability, and EV is really built on that basis.
Right. How badly is the restriction by China on supply of rare earth magnets impacting TVS Motor Company right now in terms of
I think in
production?
the short term it will impact the entire industry a fair bit. As we go forward, we have to develop new solutions, develop new components, new suppliers, and really work our way through this.
So is it already, for the industry, is it already showing on the monthly numbers?
I think it will start showing soon.
Start showing soon?
Maybe in June, if not definitely in July.
No, of course, some bodies have really sounded the alarm bells, saying that this could literally bring EV production to a grinding halt. Would you go to the extent of saying that
It is
yes?
concerning, yes, Parikshit, it is concerning.
It could bring it to a halt?
Yes.
How bad is it for the industry?
I mean, a halt is pretty bad, right?
A halt is very bad. And
It doesn't get that much worse with.
Yeah, yeah. So we could look at a complete...
Yes, it is a significant challenge.
And how are you managing it at...
Of course, like every company, we are trying to see how to deal with this. But again, there is a huge price impact which ultimately has to be borne by somebody. And then there'll be cost increases or other price increases to the customer. So all this has to be factored in, which is why I think it will be a short to medium term challenge that the industry needs to work its way out of. On one hand, we are launching products, we are committed, we have invested a lot of capex. You have seen that we have done a lot of exciting launches and our volumes have also grown. This is definitely a challenge that there's an industry and we have to work through, and over a period of time develop an ecosystem of components and R&D in India so that we bring volumes up in a way that is sustainable and in a way that's Atmanirbhar and made in India with Indian R&D, with Indian products and Indian technology and supply chain and natural resources all linked up.
Yeah. So you're expecting from June onwards it will start showing in production figures, and there'll be very significant production cuts?
Yes, there'll be cuts.
Yeah. And what kind of export growth are you targeting? And how many more countries would you like to reach out to?
We are in many countries already, and we, of course, as there are opportunities in industrialized countries, we will look at entering new markets as well, and also new segments within those markets or new ways of doing things in some of those markets. In terms of Africa, I think Africa has bottomed out and is turning around and now starting to look up. So definitely exports growth for us in the last few months, as you have seen, has already started moving up, and I think this will continue this year.
Right. How much do exports contribute as far as your total revenue is concerned, and where do you plan to take it by 2030?
Exports today are close to, I would say, international business, because it's a question of now in some of the countries we are assembling, in some countries we will manufacture. Future regulation may require more manufacturing in these countries. There will be more products aimed at these markets. There are people operating or focusing on these markets, some of them in location. So I would say the international business is about 30% of our revenue, and I think it can be 40% or more by 2030.
Okay, so that's the word from TVS Motors, and the supply of those magnets, the rare earth magnets from China. That is very clearly a concern for the industry when it comes to EV production. Stock has had actually pretty good numbers. The May sales numbers for TVS are good, 17% growth in overall sales, and right now down 1% because the market's mood overall is a little offbeat. Well, with